Beneath the hum of wings and the skittering of tiny legs lies a darker story, one that Geoffrey A. Lockwood exposes in Six-Legged Soldiers, using insects as weapons of war. In this chilling history, Lockwood reveals how insects, nature's most unassuming creatures, have been turned into tools of terror, disease, and mass destruction. Across centuries and continents, armies and scientists have weaponized bugs to sow fear and death, often in ways invisible until it's too late. This is not just a history of war, it is a catalogue of nightmares with 6 legs. Lockwood begins in the ancient world, where insects served as primitive weapons of psychological and physical torment. Scorpions were gathered and launched into enemy fortresses. Angry bees were hurled into siege camps. These were crude but effective methods, an early recognition that the natural world could be twisted into a weapon. But as humanity's understanding of disease deepened, so did its cruelty. Insects became more than just stinging projectiles. They became stealth assassins, vectors of plague, typhus, and malaria, slipping past defenses and turning living bodies into breeding grounds for suffering. The horror reaches its peak in the 20th century. During World War II, Japan's secretive Unit 731 bred fleas infected with bubonic plague and released them over Chinese cities. Thousands died in agony, their deaths engineered not by bombs or bullets, but by tiny, biting parasites. Meanwhile, Cold War paranoia spurred the United States and the Soviet Union into their own dark experiments. Fleas, mosquitoes, and crop-eating beetles were cultivated in labs, studied not for how to stop them, but for how to unleash them. Invisible armies of insects were imagined destroying harvests, spreading epidemics, and turning civilians into casualties without a shot being fired. Even agriculture became a battlefield. The idea of destroying a nation's food supply using pests, introducing insects that devour crops and leave famine in their wake, was seriously researched. Unlike nuclear weapons, these methods left no crater, no warning sirens. Just withering plants, starving people, and an enemy that never showed its face. Lockwood's book is not only a history but a warning. Insects are cheap, effective, and terrifyingly easy to deploy. As biotechnology advances, the possibility of engineered insect weapons grows more plausible. Terrorist groups or rogue nations may not need missiles or tanks, just a box of fleas or a swarm of altered mosquitoes. The horror is not just in the past. It buzzes just beneath the surface of our present. Six-Legged Soldiers turns the lens of military history onto a part of nature we rarely fear, and shows us why we should. With scientific precision and a storyteller's dread, Lockwood reveals that the smallest creatures have sometimes caused the biggest horrors. In the quiet moments of peace, his book whispers a question: what other monsters hide in plain sight?